BWOne here from BWOne.com. It's time to give you my review of the Samsung Gravity Smart. The Gravity Smart for T-Mobile is aimed at being sort of a low-cost text message-oriented phone. It has a 3.2-inch screen here. You have touch-sensitive menu options here from menu, back, and search, and then the center button here will be your home button. Above that we have the earpiece, and you kind of take a look around that it's sort of a flat stone shape with round edges around it. And we'll take a look here on this side. You have your volume rocker. You have your microphone there, and then you also have the battery bay door opener slot. And then you have your power button. You have your micro USB port for charging and syncing. Here at the top you have a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the back here we have a 3.2 megapixel camera. I mean, it's okay, has flash on it. I mean, it's not something that's gonna blow you away, but it does take some pretty decent pictures. But it's only 3.2 megapixels. It's not really the main focus of the phone either. And I'll pop open the battery bay door here to show you the 1500 milliamp hour battery. And right below the battery actually is where the SIM card is located. And what you'll notice here on the side, snap the battery back in there. The side right here is the micro SD card slot, and it takes up to 32 gigabytes of storage. This has a 2 gigabyte card pre-installed. Close that back up here. Let the device power up. Let's power it up there, and as it powers up, slide up to show you the 4-row QWERTY keyboard that has individually spaced keys, and actually gives a nice click feel when you tap each one down, press each one down. Keyboard actually is pretty useful, and you'll see that as we're going through the software portion as we wait for the Gravity Smart to boot up. The Gravity Smart is running Android 2.2.2 with TouchWiz implemented on top of it, which is pretty interesting. First, when you first look at the screen, you can kind of see that it's not a very high-res screen, and it does look a little blurry. You get so used to seeing a lot of these high-end phones with these screens. It's kind of weird looking at it on some of these budget phones here. But you have 5 desktops instead of 7 with the Gravity Smart with TouchWiz on here. You have some specific ones, the Drive Smart. You have the this is sort of your quick access to your contacts and messaging, and so on and so forth. You do get the notification quick access, your auto rotation, your sound, GPS, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi. Do have the menus that pretty much work just like the other Galaxy S devices. Head back out of here. You see there. Swipe through, and more tables will be added. More desktops will be added with icons. The more you add applications to it. You have some pre-installed ones. You have Swipe. You have Wi-Fi calling. You have visual voicemail. You do have group text messaging, because this is really a message-centric phone that they're really focused around. There is cloud texting as well too, which is a feature that's offered on here as well through T-Mobile. And that's pretty much it really for what you have in terms of pre-installed software. And the performance of the device is okay. I've seen it slow down a couple of times. It's not fast, but at the same time, it's really a budget-focused phone. So you're really kind of getting what you pay for with it. Like I said, it's not bad, but it's okay. The call quality is alright. It's a little low sometimes. I've heard when trying to hear people. People said he could hear me pretty well, but they could tell I was on a cell phone, so it isn't that sort of extra call clarity that you're looking for. But this is all about messaging, and it does do messaging pretty well, and I'll show you sort of how the keyboard works here. We'll start a new message. We'll just type in here. You do have Swipe available. You also have the full QWERTY keyboard. That is backlit. And it's pretty nice, spacious, easy to travel around. Sometimes it's a little difficult to tell between the keys because they sort of all kind of feel the same, all on the same level. But like I said, it works well, and you do have specific keys. Search, you have your messaging, you have group, and your web, and you have the alternate button right there as well too. You don't have any directional pad, but that's okay. In most cases, you can just go touch on the touch screen, and you can just do that to interact with it that way. So that is the Gravity Smart. It's alright. It's an okay phone. Battery life is pretty much standard Android. If you do a lot of text messaging and things like that, and that's what your main thing is messaging, you can probably get a full day out of it here. If you start doing data services with email, and even though this is a 3G only phone, you're really going to see that you're going to probably need to grab the charger through the day at some point, because you're not going to last all day with it. The only thing I really wish, I know it has Android on there and access to the Android market to sort of make it a smartphone, but it's really focused on being messaging. So I would think with something like this, to really have that messaging focus, they would either want to really make more customized apps for messaging, like Samsung did with the T-Mobile Sidekick 4G. Well, obviously that was specific for that particular device. You would think they might want to do that here for the Gravity Smart, or introduce the BWOne platform, which they have overseas, which they use over there for non-smartphones over there. And you would think maybe that's a good way to introduce it here in the States through the Gravity Smart. It's an okay phone, but if you're looking for messaging, you're probably better off just spending a little bit more, unless you're going to get this phone free on contract. And if you're on T-Mobile, you might want to get the Sidekick 4G if you're going to do a lot of messaging. That's really a message-centric phone and a better phone overall. But if you get this phone off contract for free, it's probably the one to go with. So this is Bowman here from BWOne.com, reminding you, subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Twitter, become a fan of our Facebook fan page, hit us on our main website. The link to this article and all our social media is in the description. And always remember to live your tech world in high definition.